As a veteran, small business owner, what can we do for you?
What we can all do for all veteran business owners is promote each other.
My main mission was to look at tools of technology to leverage small business and give them more of a competitive advantage.
My mission for Veteran Bargains is very simple: to help vets.
That story in itself, to run for Vista City Council, is a journey.
I think this is an opportunity to really collaborate with those gone before us.
It's really kind of a labor of love.
And now your host.
Welcome back to the Veterans Radio Show, and happy Friday. Today we have a phenomenal show. You'll want to stay around because we have a few guests today. On our Veterans Radio Show, we talk with heroes in action, making it happen for our veteran community. I'm your host, Shelley Harrison. I'm also the co-director for the Inland Empire Orange County chapter of the National Veterans Chamber of Commerce. And how exciting in the news today, I'm just going to go a little off topic. Disneyland reopened after 412 days. So excited for that. And we had our NFL last night. The draft happened, which was exciting. And today we have an NFL football player, former alumni, who's going to be on with us. So you'll get to meet him a little bit later. We want to welcome all of our listeners, followers on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Amazon Live, and wherever you're listening. This is the Veterans Radio Show, and without you, it would not be possible for our listeners. So please subscribe. Make sure that you follow us, and if you have questions for any of our guests, make sure to post them in the chat wherever you're watching. We love seeing those, and it will get them answered for you live. Okay, so without further ado, I am going to. First of all, I want to make an announcement. I just realized that. We have our Athletes and Warriors 2021 golf tournament coming up, and it's going to be on June 14th. It's going to be held at Pechanga. And if you know that golf course, it is beautiful. And how exciting. We're actually going to have former NFL alumni there with us. Hall of Famer Andre Reed from the Buffalo Bills. And we also have Walter Thurman, who is a Super Bowl champ that's going to be joining us as well. So we're inviting, if you're an avid golfer, make sure to check out the event. We'd love to have you there. We'd love to meet you in person. We have a lot of activity going on. We have Tesla there. We have just a lot of different sponsors that will be there, Harimari, and we have a cigar company that's going to be there. So if you're interested in supporting and getting involved, please let us know because we'd love to have your support. With that, I'm going to go right into introducing our guest today for you. And her name is Nicole Dauz, and she is coming to us from Ontario, Canada. And she says it's snowing there. So for those of us on the West Coast, we have beautiful sunny skies, but we love the snow too. So Nicole is the founder and CEO of Caring for Caregivers. And again, coming to us from Canada. And Nicole Dauz is a self-care coach and caregiver advocate who chooses happiness despite her circumstances. Experience is her teacher, and her clients come to her because she provides them the tools and strategies needed to shift from feeling stressed and overwhelmed to regaining control of their lives and feeling gratitude and joy in their lives. And I would love to welcome Nicole. Welcome to the show, Nicole.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. And you're in Canada in the snow, and right now, how deep is the snow?
Well, interestingly enough, the flurries just started. So yesterday, I was out running with, just a sweater on, and now it's there's a blizzard. So it just kind of goes. All the stereotypes are correct about Canadian weather.
Oh, but it's beautiful there. Like I was sharing with you earlier, I've been to Vancouver and it's just gorgeous. Yeah, everything is so green. Well, welcome to the show, Nicole. And I know we have some, questions that we're going to be asking you to learn a little bit more about the work that you're doing. And I'd like to first start out, how did you get into this business?
Oh, yeah. So I always start by saying experience is my teacher. So I've been a caregiver now for 12 years. So my daughter, Summer, just like the season, has a rare genetic disease and autism. So I've been a caregiver for 12 years, and the beginning of that journey was very challenging, learning, because I do have 2 children. My first was, healthy, everything was fine. And even with Summer, we didn't know anything or there would be any challenges, etc., until her first year checkup. So the following 5 years, I say, were survival, because when you're in survival mode, you're actually not living. You're just kind of managing day by day. And we had weekly occupational therapy. We had weekly physical therapy so she could learn how to walk. And there were intellectual delays, etc. And so all of this basically stemmed from me learning that I needed to take better care of myself, so I could be a better mother and a better caregiver for my family.
Oh, that's a beautiful story. And I do have some friends that have autistic children. And it is something that, you're gifted, where you're able to take care of, in this case, your daughter, Summer. And I'm sure that there are good days and there's probably not so good days. And, overall though, it's definitely something that takes, a lot of, someone who knows how to, care for a child that has autism. With your company, share with us a little bit how, caring for caregivers. So exactly what is it that you do?
I think you've just touched on a really important point about, so the mission is changing the conversation around caregiving and allowing us to celebrate the journey. Yeah. Because it is very challenging. And as you said, every day is a little different. And also depending on, I say, I'm the barometer in the household. So if I'm having a good day, the patience is never ending. However, if I'm not having a good day, I have very little patience. And yet my children can be acting the exact same, but I'm the one who is, not coping well. And so that's why I'm so passionate about caregiver well-being. It's because our children consume so much of our time and can sometimes feel like little dictators. We need to carve out that time for ourselves. And even it's twofold. So it's accepting the role as caregiver, which is something I'm sure your listeners can relate to. And then it's also acknowledging that it's okay to take time for ourselves and that it's actually a gift.
Right.
A gift to our kids.
Yes. Well, and there has to be self-care in there too. And I know that, where, there's respite care, it's 24/7, that is required. And caregivers, like you pointed out, they need to, to get away and kind of, just decompress or kind of refuel themselves. You mentioned the mission of your organization, and can you just kind of share, as far as the day-to-day life of what you're doing? I realize that, you care for your daughter, Summer, and your other child, but what does the day-to-day look like for you in your organization?
Oh, well, business-wise, I'm working, one-on-one with caregivers, or I'm saying creating a course. So content for an organization to support caregivers. And for me, it's really everything that I do is built on what I call my self-care philosophies, and that is accessible to everybody. I think so often the word self-care it's overused in a sense, but I really break it down to say that it's anything that brings you joy. And to me, that. Because it makes it more accessible. And for people, especially during COVID, you don't need to leave your house. You don't need to spend any money. And in some instances, there are people who can't leave the room of the child for whom they're caring. So how can you find those moments for yourself? Yeah. The other philosophies are that it's not there's no right or wrong, and there's no comparison or judgment. And what I mean by that is what the activities that you decide you'd like to do for your self-care may not be the same as me, but that doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong. We're both right, because it's all about
because it's No, and you really, I mean, I love the way that you say, that it's the joy. And, some people choose meditation. Some people, they want to go to the park and
Yeah.
just look at the flowers or listen to the birds, so that could even be self-care. It doesn't necessarily mean that, you need to go get a pedicure, a body massage. Self-care is, the joy that it brings you when, and it's joy still with your family and, those that we're caring for. But in the same token, sometimes you just need to kind of separate a little bit. And then, that refueling, I'm sure that you probably, talk about with your clients.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I know that there are some tools and strategies that you use, Nicole, with your organization. Can you share a few of those that, help to reduce stress and, putting more joy in the lives of the caregivers that you support?
Certainly. These ones are my go-to self-care tips. And I say they're simple simply because they're so accessible to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one is breathing. And most people laugh because they're like, thanks, Nicole. Because everyone's
But it is
breathing.
important. It's so important
Yeah.
because some people just hold it in, and they don't
Yes.
breathe properly. Yeah.
And you've nailed it. It's about being intentional and then being aware of actually how you're breathing. So for
Yeah.
the breathing part, it's called box breathing. So it means that
Yes.
you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 4 seconds, and then you breathe out. But the
Yes.
beauty about that is you're in control. So I
Mhm.
said 4 seconds, but after a week, you could change it to 5, 5, 5, and then 6, 6, 6. And you could decide to
Yeah.
do it for 5 times, or depending how upset you are, you may need to do it for, 20 minutes, etc. But again,
Yeah.
all of these tips, you get to decide how long you're going to do them for. And that's what makes them so
Yeah.
accessible as well.
Right. And make them your own. And then they can expand on it too, because you can really do that. In fact, I had an event yesterday and we had the speaker who did the box breathing.
Okay.
So it was, and we all did it. And it was just really refreshing, because you come out of it and you're like, I am more relaxed.
Mhm.
Definitely. So for you, Nicole, the caregivers that you work with, do you do, like, for example, do you work with them one-on-one or do you work in a group of people? How do you kind of split this up with your business?
Mhm. So first, I just like to say hi to Lori Marie, who's just
Oh,
said that she's a caregiver. And thank you for
oh,
being here. And yes, there's I have a Facebook group, Lori, for virtual support. So I have an online course, Self-Care for Caregivers, that I have. It's an 8-week modules program. Then I
yeah.
do one-on-one coaching as well.
Wonderful. Oh my gosh. So,
And I was just going to say, back in the day, I did retreats, and that's actually one thing I really miss, because I think the in-person ability and having people come together and creating a safe space for people is really important, because as caregivers, we need to know that we're not alone, even though our
right.
experiences may be
Mhm.
different. I say that there's a finite amount of emotions. So we've all
Yeah.
had those same feelings of fear or frustration and anger. And so it's
Mhm.
really coming together to support one another.
Yes. No, thank you for sharing that too. And we appreciate the comments that are coming through too, because there are a lot of caregivers out there and they're all different types of caregivers. There's even people that are caring for their elderly parents,
Yeah.
or grown children. I mean, it's just a variety. And I think the work that you're doing is phenomenal, really, Nicole, because
Thank
this
you.
is something, people need this, when they're going through an experience or, have, like had mentioned that you have a child who is autistic. So great work. And I know we have self-care while being a caregiver is really important, but
Mm.
many people feel guilty just leaving the house for an hour. I know your experience, how helpful just getting out of the house is. Yeah. And that's from David Ray. Thank you, David, for sharing that. And Lori says, so true, David. So yeah, we appreciate that. And, if you have any questions, I know we're going to be coming to a point where I wanted to do kind of a commercial break here. We want to, if I can, Nicole, I just want to give a shout out to to
Certainly.
Perfecto Coffee with Bruce Long. He is his company and Bruce are our sponsors today for the show. And we're working together on the Athletes and Warriors golf tournament. So you'll hear a little bit more from Bruce a little bit later. And we're showing Andre Reed. So those of you that are Buffalo Bill fans, Hall of Famer Andre Reed is on the screen right now. And hopefully we'll be able to have a conversation with Andre in a few weeks. And you're going to hear from Travis in just a little bit here. He's coming up next. And I'm going to kind of take it back to you, Nicole. Just, what can the chamber do to help you?
Oh, thank you. Well, my website is NicoleDauz.com. And I think, if just sharing with your community that there are resources available and thank you, David, for sharing you're taking care of your dad, because, family caregivers, it's just not parents. It's people, caring for children. It's caring for aging adults. It can be a sick partner or even a friend. And when I work with people, I focus on the person. So I always say, yes, I've been a caregiver for 12 years and a mom for 14, but I've been Nicole for 47. And I always honor Nicole first. And that's what I try to instill in empowering caregivers, is going back to who they are and what their needs are and meeting them there.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Well, I just love your spirit, Nicole. And it was so nice to meet you. I know, we haven't met face to face, and today was the first time that we had a chance to have a conversation. But, keep up the wonderful work and, stay connected with our chamber. And I know that, and I know that, we're coming up on the weekend, so have a wonderful weekend. We're going to be transitioning now. I know we're going to be having Travis Davis come on. So again, Nicole, thank you so much for being here with us today. And I believe that we're going to kind of do a little bit of a shift here. And actually, we're doing a shift with Joseph Molina, who is our executive director.
Yes. Hi, nice to see you.
Yes.
Yes,
all right,
finally
so
we get to meet face to face.
Yes, nice. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Shelley. Those were great questions, and we had a lot of questions coming in through the chat on YouTube from people who have that type of experience, and thank you for coming on the show. And I know we talked about bringing this type of support for caregivers who are providing care to military families, and how do we support them? And since, and we talk about sharing the content so we can help those new caregivers who because sometimes we just land in that situation and there's no training to prepare us to get into that mode or in that situation. And so having the support from you and for the type of things that you do kind of gives them that assistance. So thank you very much for being on the show, and thank you, Shelley, for the great questions.
Oh, thank you, Joe. And thank you for coming on. And, I know you do a great job of welcoming our guests every Friday, and we appreciate everything that you do.
Well, it's my pleasure.
Definitely.
Always.
All right. Well, I believe that we are going to have Mr. Travis Davis coming next, correct?
That is correct. We have someone coming in. They're setting that up on backstage. As soon as we hear from them, they'll let us know.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask, let's see, we have somebody coming in. We have Michael coming in.
Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah. So right now we're doing a play action. And so right now they're working with the playbook. And so they'll be on in a few minutes. As soon as they are, I will let y'all know. So, okay.
All right.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you. And I have a couple more questions for Nicole. Joe, do you have any questions for Nicole?
No. It's just looking forward to reconnecting with you and finishing up the plan that we started with, so we can bring this to military caregivers. And so we'll be you and I will be in touch later, anyways.
And that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you.
That's
and
awesome.
love that Canada is participating. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yes.
And you'll visit us, because now we're 92 degrees. So you'll visit us. We probably will visit you.
planning a self-care retreat in California. So I will let you know when the dates are finalized.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
exciting.
Shelley knows the best places in California.
Yeah. We'll have to connect, Nicole. Yeah, and I want to ask you, with the pandemic and everything that's happened, what has been the silver lining for you with your company since 2020?
Yeah. The reason that I'm laughing is because the biggest silver lining is twofold. So from a business perspective, it really highlighted the needs of family caregivers. And
Yeah,
it really
I would imagine.
helped people appreciate the challenges that we have on a little bit on a daily basis, because people were then stuck at home and they had a little more insight. But the other part, just for me personally, was it was very humbling, because I thought I thought I knew a lot. And because I had all of these tools and strategies, I found myself right back at the beginning of COVID, of when I was a caregiver. I was in denial, I was resentful, I was angry. And so for me, I actually had to kind of go through all of my own tools and strategies and to do all my own work. And I think that's just helped make me a better support system for other caregivers.
Oh my gosh. No, that's and just moving into 2021, I can imagine things are improving, right?
Yes. Oh, they certainly are.
That's great, Nicole. Well, we appreciate you being here. And I know that we have our next guest ready to go. So again, thank you for being on the show. And I believe you're going to hang out with us, but we're going to put you back in the green room.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Nicole. All right. Okay. And there is Mr. Travis Davis. How are you?
Doing
Such a pleasure to
excellent.
meet you. How are you doing today?
Oh, it's a big pleasure to meet you. It's so wonderful to meet you. How are you doing today?
Yes, we're so happy to have you here, Travis. And not only that, we are very excited to have you participate with the Athletes and Warriors golf tournament.
Yes.
Yes.
That's a big thing.
Yep. And I want our audience to know who you are. So I'm going to say a little bit about you. Okay. So we have Travis Davis here. He is a former NFL pro football player. Travis was born in Wilmington, California. So not too far where I grew up, Travis. He was drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 7th round of the 1995 NFL draft. He played college football at Notre Dame. Davis has also played for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I want to give you a big football welcome, Travis.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that big welcome.
Yes. Thank you. And can you share with us where you're coming to us from?
Right now I'm in Marietta.
You're in Marietta. Okay, so you're close. Definitely.
Yeah, pretty close. How close are you? Where are you at exactly?
I'm in the Corona area, so I'm in Southern California, so I'm right up the 15 from you.
Oh yes, right there.
Yeah, and you'll be right there
today.
Oh gosh, and I really want to kind of get into the NFL draft was last night, right? Did you watch it?
Yeah, well, I glanced at it.
You glanced at it. So when you were watching it, what did you think? Did it bring back memories or?
It brought back some memories. I actually didn't go to the combine. I didn't do any of that type of stuff. So I actually I watched it on TV. I watched it on TV during that time back then, and it brought back a little bit of memories. When you're sitting there waiting for your name to get called, and you're waiting, and then you're waiting, and then you're waiting again. It was a big waiting game.
Yeah. Well, and the reactions of a lot of the families last night, I mean, it was just, it was like, wow, and football's back, which is exciting because our family, we're football buffs and we love football. For you though, your career, you were, well, back in 1999, I know you were playing. As far as your career, I mean, what do you think your career in the NFL, how did it help you kind of catapult into where your life is today?
Well, through NFL, actually, there's a number of different things. For one, it was the tenacity. You had to continue to you had to continue all the time.
Yeah.
You never can let up. You had to continue. You had to train. It was a bunch of nuances that helped me out later on in life. Discipline for one. We had to be disciplined. We had to be on time. You had to do a number of different things that actually helped out in life since then.
Oh, yeah. Well, and what I'm thinking is veterans, when they're in the military, they have a similar rigorous, responsibility too.
They do. It's
Yeah.
no way in the world we could possibly compare an NFL player to a veteran.
Yeah, no.
But the same discipline.
But it's similar. It's similar.
It's very similar. If you missed a block, say for instance, you had a block that you had to make your block because somebody could get hurt if you didn't do exactly what your job. So everybody, the team aspect of it, that's also very, very similar to the veterans as well. You have 11 different guys and you had 11 different assignments. You had to make sure you get each one of your assignments correct because it'd be detrimental if you didn't.
Oh, that is so true. And I know that, the NFL, I mean, football games are just so exciting to watch, and especially the Super Bowls. What is the Super Bowl like for you? I mean, year after year, here you are, a former NFL alumni. What do you do on Super Bowl day?
Well, let's say from like 2001, 2002, 2003, during that time, I didn't even want to look at a Super Bowl game at all. Zero.
Oh.
If I wasn't in it, then I didn't want to be a part of it, right?
Yeah. Well, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, didn't they go to the Super Bowl in 2005, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right after I left. So, I
no, that's enough. Well,
right.
you just got them all ready, right, to win the Super Bowl.
At least
that's what you did. Well, let's go with that.
Yeah, that's it. So now I kind of watch games every now and then. I may have a small Super Bowl party or something to that extent.
Yeah.
I still love the game.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, how could we not? I mean, football is the all-American, game that people love all over the U.S. and abroad too.
Oh, yes, that's famous.
Yeah. And what I want to kind of look back and I'm going to bring you back to, your days playing football. You've got this huge, massive stadium. You have millions of people on television watching you, watching the team, watching, every single play, on the edge of their seats. How did it make you feel when all eyes were on you and you knew that you had to be on point?
I would think that would take me all the way back to Pop Warner when I was a little kid.
Really?
Yeah, seriously. I always wanted my family to watch, and that was the biggest thing for me, having my family watch. So having 10,000, 20,000, 40,000, 100,000 people even in college, that was really, it didn't bother me too much because I always wanted my parents and my family to watch because everybody else watching, hey, they just get to enjoy it. But it didn't really bother me too much.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that I don't know. When you look at that, I mean, it's definitely, an experience. It's a family type of game. And, I think that just having those roots in the NFL, it's just, and I know there's a community in the NFL and I wanted to kind of bring us to the Athletes and Warriors golf tournament. And what inspired you, Travis, to get involved with the tournament?
Well, my buddy Bruce, he told me about it and gave me a lot of information regarding the Athletes and Warriors, and I just wanted to be a part. Once I found out more about it, I just wanted to be a part of it. Anytime you can help a situation get better, and you have a chance to stick your hand out there and help, then that's something that you should do. That's something I did learn as well, being in NFL, college. Anytime you can help.
Yes. Well, and we definitely appreciate that. And I know right now, can you hear me? Oh, there we go. Okay. Right now we have Bruce here, and I know Bruce Long, you know Bruce, and Bruce, I would love to just kind of turn it on over to you and have you ask Travis some questions.
Well, thank you so much, Shelly, for having us on today. Travis, thank you so much for being a part of the Athletes and Warriors golf tournament. It's going to be a wonderful day. It has a great cause. If there's any veterans out there that would love to be a part of what we're doing, I invite you all to please come out. We'll have Travis Davis there himself. You can ask him your own questions. I've been a fan of the game for a long time. I watched a little bit of the draft last night myself, and it's inspiring to see the hard work that goes in, to getting yourself to that next level. As veterans, we do the same thing as far as wanting to get to that next level and inspiring and working hard. So whenever we can connect those two worlds, it's a win-win. And then you add golf on top of that. So thank you so much, Travis. I mean, this goes a long way, in that giving back and that helping, that I'm a big fan of that, so thank you very much, man. Greatly appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. I so much appreciate you inviting me to come out and be a part as well. I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, we're so excited, Travis, and it's going to be a great day of golf, and I know that you'll have some alumni there that you'll get to see, and also some veterans that will be there with us, and a whole bunch of golf enthusiasts, and just kind of, I know we're going to be going to another segment here in just a moment, but I would love to find out, how they say, well, what are they doing now? So what are you up to now, and just your life today?
Oh, wonderful. Well, I've done everything from I've owned barber salons, beauty salons.
Really? Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
bought and sold that business. I had a jumper company. That was extremely fun because I got to meet so many different people.
Yeah.
And make kids and families happy. That was a big. I
that
really
is
enjoyed
fun.
It. Oh yes. And now currently I'm coaching football as well. I was coaching the Linfield Christian, which is in Temecula.
Okay.
It's a high school. I've coached junior college for probably over 20 years right now. And so that's really one of the major things that I continue to do, and golf.
Yeah. And golf, yeah. So are you a good golfer? Are you a good golfer?
I'm not gonna say yes. No, I'm decent. I have fun. I probably have more fun than everybody else out there.
Oh yeah, and that's what we really want to do. We want to have a really good time. I know we have Tesla, we have other sponsors that are going to be there, and we have swag bags that we're giving away with some pretty cool stuff in it. So I know that the event June 14th is going to be here before we know it. And again, Travis, thank you so much. And I know, Bruce, I want to publicly thank you you've done a phenomenal job, and with Perfecto Coffee being our sponsor for the show, and also being kind of spearheading this golf event. It's turning out to be just extraordinary with all the people that are joining in. We have people that are already signed up to play, and we want to invite more people to come out, whether you're a player or you just want to come out and spectate. It's going to be a wonderful day. And with that, I think, let's see. I believe that we may have Joe coming back on, and we sure do. There we go. There's Joe.
Thank you, Shelley, again for the great questions. And it's really an honor to be here with you guys today. And thank you, Bruce, for sponsoring the golf tournament. And did you say you're a good player or not a good player?
Travis?
I'm okay. Okay, Travis. Yeah, Travis.
All right. Yeah, well, I think, Travis, we're going to kind of have to play off and do a competition and see how many holes we can do. Because I play miniature golf so many times, I know I can beat you. I know that.
You're actually correct, because that's the best part of the game. If you could put the ball in, you're doing a majority of the job right there.
Oh yeah, yeah. And
well, thank you very much. I really appreciate your support, and the team that you bring in with you, and the team that Shelley and Bruce are bringing also, like Dave and so many others. They just wanting to participate and support our local military groups. That in this case, Bruce and Shelley are leading the charge in the area, and I'm just thankful, and I'm overwhelmed to the support that the area is given to the mission, and I'm really kind of honored to be working with Shelley, Mark, and Bruce in this event. It's just phenomenal. So I just wanted to personally thank you, and I won't say any more, but we'll compete, Travis.
I'll see you there.
All right.
Thank you so much,
See
Joe.
you there.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it. And Travis, is there anything that you want to share with our audience about, just life in general, or maybe something related to football? But there's that one burning thing that you want to share with our audience.
Shelly, no. You know what? Actually, yes, unity.
Unity. Oh, I
Unity.
love that.
That's the word I'm really coming up in my head when you first said that. Unity, because there's so much distance between people from internet and life and so many different things. I chose unity, so hopefully we can all be
that's a great word. That's awesome.
That's totally awesome, because in this case, Travis, that's the common denominator, like you have with your teams, with your team, fellow teammates. Same thing that Bruce and us have with the military. It just brings us together, and anyone who's part of the military family, like whether they were children or parents, Shelley has the same mindset. All of us who work at the chamber have the same mindset. It's what keeps us together. Everything else, the fundraising and stuff, well, it takes money to help, and that's it. But that's not the objective. The objective is to bring people together, to provide platforms and venues and avenues so we can reunite and support each other. That's the main goal. And unfortunately, they don't give us free gas. They don't give us free thing, but there is a cost of everything, and that's fine. But our goal, why we do this, is to bring that family back together, whether it's militaries working together with the NFL alumni, whether first responders, teachers. We all have those communities that, like you said, social media in certain ways separates us, but we want to find ways to unite us. And that's very cool that you said that. Totally on board with you.
Hey, appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely. And, I know we're coming to the close of our radio show today. And we're here today for those of you that are just joining us or on with us. We are talking with Travis Davis, former NFL alumni, and he played with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he is a gem. He just gave such a great interview today. We're excited to have Travis with us on June 14th. So, Travis, we get to meet in person, definitely. And and I also want to thank Bruce Long, who is here with us, our sponsor with Perfecto Coffee. Bruce, you are the man. I mean, I'm blown away by how you've been really putting so much, greatness into this golf tournament. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. And then Joe, what can I say?
It takes
Go ahead, Bruce.
It takes a team, Shelley. It takes a team, it takes a team, and like Travis said, unity, having you, Joe, I know Mike behind you, Jimmy, Kelly. It really takes a team to bring this all together. I feel like, hey, Travis, we got a team of 11, right now going at it.
Right.
We're ready to play ball. We're ready to golf and have a good time. Yeah.
Right.
So thank you.
Absolutely. Well said, Bruce. Well said. And, Joe, thank you too. We appreciate all your efforts and you make all of this possible along with our listeners. So we appreciate that. And it was fun today. And, to our followers, listeners that are out there, we appreciate you being here with us. And remember to subscribe. Go ahead and share out this radio show and catch us every week. We're on at 1:00 like clockwork every Friday. And I have my co-host, who is Laura Torres. We also have behind the scenes. We have Michael Wood. We have Jimmy behind the scenes. And it's just a wonderful show. And we appreciate you being here. So until next time, thank you for joining us. And thank you, Travis Davis.
Yes, thank you. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. All right, everyone. See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.